प्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. I hope you can hear me when I speak. So I will share my screen and then I will read this verse and then we will discuss after that. Okay, looks like sharing is not turned on. That's okay. I can read from here and then you can hear. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam 7.9.38. 7.9 is a chapter which is Prahlad pacifies Lord Nrsimhadev with prayers. So you'll go through the verse. Ittam nirdeya
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry, I will make you host so you can share the presentation.
Okay, bro. Okay.
1 minute. Yes, Prabhuji, you are the co-host now.
Thank you, bro.
Welcome.
Okay. So now we are looking into this verse. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9, Sloka number 38. Ittam nirtiryagrishideva jasavatarer lokan vibhavayasi hamsi jagat pratipan dharmam mahapurushapashi yuganuvrittam chenna kaloyad abhavastriyugota sattvam. Translation and purport given by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. In this way, translation, in this way, my Lord, you appear in various incarnations. As a human being, an animal, a great saint, a demigod, a fish or a tortoise, thus maintaining the entire creation in different planetary systems and killing the demonic principles according to the age. According to the age, O my Lord, you protect the principles of religion in the age of Kali. However, you do not assert yourself as a supreme personality of Godhead, and therefore you are known as Triyuga, or the Lord who appears in three yugas. We'll go through the purport. As a Lord of
Yeah, Hare Krishna, I think Prabhuji's drop off, so I will contact him again.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Sorry, I had a disconnection here. Sorry about that. There is a lag here. 1 second. All right.
Yeah, you are still the host, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yes, Lord Chaitanya knew that Kali Yuga there would be many bogus incarnations pretending to be God, and therefore he avoided asserting himself as a Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is accepted as a Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, in many Vedic literatures, especially in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is being said, Krishnam Varnam Thusha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yagne Sankirtana Prayar Yajanti Sumedasaha. In Kali Yuga, intelligent men worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is always accompanied by his associates such as Nityananda, Advaita, Gadadhara, and Srivasa. The entire Krishna consciousness movement is based on the principles of the Sankirtana movement, inaugurated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, one who tries to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the medium of Sankirtan movement knows everything perfectly. He is Sumedasa. He is Sumeda, a person with substantial intelligence. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Swapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadantika Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Utapadakamlam Shri Gurunna Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Tam Tam Sajiva Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopeshu Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Shubhanu Shute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyam vaishnavebhyo namo. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shri Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangam longayate girim yat kripa tamaham vande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much for the opportunity to discuss Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam is a Amala Puran, and this sloka, especially this chapter, clearly reiterates how great our acharyas, how great devotees are. This chapter, name itself, Prahlad pacifies Lord Narasimha with prayers. It's very important to understand in which situation we are right now, especially in this particular shloka. Prahlad Maharaj is speaking this information in Satya Yuga, which is way before our understanding. So many thousands and thousands of years back, this shloka was being spoken. As an interesting, very interesting aspect we can see through this shloka is Chenna kalo yad abhavas triyugota sattvam. Chenna means hidden. So he is clearly reiterating this is the greatness of the acharyas, especially the pure devotees, who in this case, entire universe was shaking, was actually shivering through the, through the pastime of Lord Narasimhadev. Lord Narasimhadev killed Hiranyakashipu, and after that, he would kill all the demons over there. And then after this particular pastime, Lord Narasimhadev was furious. He was roaring. Entire universe was in a trembling situation. Even Brahma, Lord Shiva, they couldn't go and pacify the Lord. What to speak of Lakshmi Devi? She is too far away to even see the Lord. So everybody was in a precarious, difficult situation. So at that moment, Prahlad Maharaj comes forward and then pacifies the Lord. Through these prayers in this chapter. So it's so fortunate to even have the glimpse of it. We are so fortunate to have the glimpse. The reason is these things are discussed. See, before jump on into the details of this particular sloka, I want to give a synopsis of how fortunate we are to stay in the association of devotees, how fortunate we are to chant the holy names, how fortunate we are to develop that particular consciousness which the acharyas are requesting us to do. And then even more fortunate we are to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam. Because we see the synopsis, if you go little into the background of the situation and circumstances when Bhagavatam was being spoken. Bhagavatam was being spoken on the battle, Bhagavad Gita was spoken on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, but Bhagavatam was spoken on the shores of Mother Ganges. So, who are discussing this? Parikshit Maharaj, Sukadeva Goswami. And who are hearing? Parikshit Maharaj's father, Vyasdev, Narada Muni, Parashuram, the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, Parashuram, and Suta Goswami, who heard this instruction and then later on discussed this for so many years, so many days with the sages of Naimisharanya. So the synopsis is so important for us to absorb in the process. Absorption is the only way where we can relish this process of Krishna consciousness. If we have a right attitude, right absorption, right mentality, that is the key to enter into the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you actually see, Parikshit Maharaj is an empowered personality, ruled the entire world for 700 years. And that person, he gets the curse. I'm not going into the details, but I'm just trying to invoke their presence through this discussion. Because it's only through their presence, it's only through the presence of them we can actually go deep into the scriptures. So he ruled for 700 years, and then after that, a small boy cursed him. This is so amazing, because Parikshit Maharaj is a great personality. He's a king who is ruling this entire Bhumandala, not Bharatavarsha. Bharatavarsha means this universe, this 7 planetary systems, this 7. Bharatavarsha is our world. This, he ruled the entire Bhumandala, which is far beyond our perception. So that personality was being cursed by a 5-year boy, and then he accepted it. And then he said, the moment he heard that you'll die in 7 days, he immediately gave up. The moment he gave up, we can really understand all those 700 years for whom he was ruling. He ruled for the pleasure of Pandavas. He ruled for the pleasure of Krishna. That was the reason why he could easily give it up. Generally, we tend to, let's say, for example, we are working as a manager or a director somewhere in a company. And if somebody says that, oh, okay, Mr. Neil Govinda, you're fired in the next week. or your fight today? What's your reaction? How do we take that? Do we take that how our acharyas are taking? Just in the case of Parikshit Maharaj, are we taking in those lines? These are the questions which we need to ask ourselves. So what this would open is, this would open up another realm which currently which we don't perceive right now. Just like there is an ant, there might be an ant here crawling. The ant cannot perceive what we are discussing now. And likewise, all the Devi Devatas who are actually perceiving the higher principles, we cannot perceive their consciousness. That itself proves our limited understanding in this world. So knowing these great personalities who have heard, so the same sloka was spoken by Sukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. Just imagine the same thing. Might be a different, they might have different perception, they might have deeper realizations than what we have right now. But the process is the same. But the way they take the principles are the same. So now we want to go into the details of this particular shloka to really understand from what we are receiving. These great personalities are discussing. I always wonder when I discuss or hear Bhagavatam in the midst of devotees or share this Bhagavatam with the devotees, I always wonder, Arey yaar, what kind of consciousness we have. I have at least myself. Arey, this is a great thing. It's an Amala Puran. Even Vyasadeva himself, after writing all the literatures, Vedic literatures, Upanishads, Puranas, Vedanta Sutras, all the things, after writing everything, even Mahabharata, after writing all,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. We can't hear you. Yeah, looks like Prabhuji dropped again. So I will call him.
actually, sorry about that. Looks like there's a lag on at my end. So Vyasdev was actually meditating that I've written all the scriptures, but still my heart is not satisfied. And the moment he was in that perplexed state, Narada Muni comes and then he says, "You write Bhagavatam. That gives happiness to everyone. Everyone in this entire universe. Everyone will be pacified. You write Bhagavatam." So that is the mode or the state which we need to be absorbed in. so that we can relish the slokas or the translations or the transcendental purports given by Srila Prabhupada. So, in this particular sloka, it is very clearly reiterated that Prahlad Maharaj is quoting Chinna kalo yat abhavastriyugo ta sattvam. Chinna kalo yat abhavas. Chinna means hidden. Who is hidden? What's hidden? Kalo, he said in the age of Kali, the Lord comes as Chinna avatar. This is another glimpse or the proof that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming in the age of Kali. This is another confirmation. This was spoken to Lord Nrsimhadev, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you yourself will come as Lord Chaitanya in the age of Kali, as Chinna, as hidden incarnation. And then Prabhupada confirmed that in the translation, in the purport, clearly reiterated that how important is this to really understand and be absorbed in this process. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he himself clearly reiterating, if anybody, as Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport, if anybody says, oh, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he closes his ears and then says, Hari Hari. No, please don't say. Please don't say that. Please don't say that. Prabhupada was very clearly reiterating that in this age of Kali, there are so many people who will come and then proclaim themselves as a Supreme Personality of Godhead. Actually, in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, Prabhupada clearly gives that synopsis over there. He confirms that chapter 11 is a universal form. He confirms that if anybody says, I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead, ask them to show their universal form. Please ask them to show the universal form. Even though that universal form is not permanent, it is temporary, but still only Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, can manifest that. Prabhupada was very clear. This is how the Acharyas gives us that conviction in the process. See, without the Acharya's presence in our life, without the presence of pure devotees, our Diksha Guru, our Siksha Guru, if those presence are, if those personalities' presence is not there in our life, then we are totally lost actually. Because here Prabhupada clearly reiterates, see, if this thing is not being known or understood to the best of our ability, we get shattered by this material world in so many ways. The faith will not be on one aspect. The faith will be multifarious, different ways. When the faith is diluted or is it in multifarious ways, our process of absorbing or doing Krishna consciousness is diluted. When that is diluted, then obviously, we cannot perceive deeper Shastric understanding. Knowing the deeper principles, Prahlad Maharaj is confirming that Lord Chaitanya will come in the age of Kali. In this sloka. This is the greatness of pure devotees. They can perceive everything actually. They can perceive past, present, and the future. In this instance, when Prahlad Maharaj was speaking this sloka, everybody were wondering, the discussion, everybody were relishing Brahmaji, Narad, Brahmaji, Lord Shiva, all the devotees, all the devatas, they were all relishing the conversation, the glorification of Prahlad Maharaj towards Lord Nrsimhadev. And then he in this particular sloka, even Lord Chaitanya himself has shown us how we should lead our life. What should be our way? What should be our vision? How do we see our day-to-day activities? Everything he showed through his life itself. Even Supreme Personality of Godhead, when he came as a devotee, he is not accepting that he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's what Prabhupada was mentioning in the translation, in the purport. Very clearly reiterating. Why? To show how a devotee, because he came as a devotee, and then the moment he came, he gave us this beautiful, process through his Shikshastakam, through his great slokas. He has written so much, but he threw everything in the Ganges. He wrote a lot in the scriptures, but he threw everything. The moment he met his spiritual master, Ishwarapuri, how great personality he is, who that Ishwarapuri, such a great personality, just imagine Supreme Personality of Godhead is becoming his disciple. And then that Ishwarapuri is telling, you give up everything, all your Shastric evidence, all your knowledge, just keep that aside and then chant Hare Krishna. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted it. Such a wonderful, just see their beautiful relationship between Ishwarapuri and Lord Chaitanya. It's amazing. Chaitanya Charitamritam goes into the details. And then it also, Krishnadas Kaviraja Goswami, who is the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, he did not write that instruction just like that. He did not write Chaitanya Charitamrita just like that. He received the instructions from Lord Nityananda, who is Balramji himself. So he received a personal instruction from Lord Nityananda, and then he told him, you write Chaitanya Charitamrita. And then he took, at the age of 95, just imagine, fag end of his life. At the age of 95, he started writing Chaitanya Charitamritam, and then within that Chaitanya Charitamritam, he writes wonderful nectarian conversations between Ishwarapuri and Lord Chaitanya. And it is so amazing to see how Lord Chaitanya, such a magnanimous personality, he himself is showing to us that how we should behave, how we should act, how we should lead our life. Generally, when we hear the statement of Trinada Pisunichena Tarori Vasa Krishna Amanina Manadena Kirtanya Sadahari, I've heard so many times practicing devotees discussing with me, Prabhu, how can we apply this Trinadapi Sunichana principle at office? I said, it's a very good question. Should we apply? If we apply, they will trample on us. दबा के जाएगा वो. I cannot do that. So it's always wonderful to see if Acharyas, if the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he himself came as a devotee and then giving those instructions. That means, is it applicable only in the devotee circle? Or is it also applicable all the time? It is applicable all the time. It is not just applicable only in the devotee circle. You know, the other devotee, we should be humble. Generally, we tend to be humble. But outside world, how do we be humble? This is the science which we need to learn. We again come through the Shastras for that understanding. How we can apply that principle of being humble even at work. See, humility doesn't always mean that I should always be like this. There are certain responsibilities which are given to us, and we should abide to those responsibilities. Just like Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he was lamenting, he was morose, he was distressed, he was dejected, he was totally out of this world. He was not able to fathom or even understand anything in this world. He was completely shattered. At that moment, through the process of surrender, actually, if we closely observe, it's only after Arjuna came to that situation. What situation is that? The process of surrender. Krishna didn't spoke Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita was not spoken until that point. Karpanya dosha apahata svabhava prachamitam dhamma samudi cheta. Yachyehi sannischitam buhi tanme. He's confirming. Shishyasteham sadimam tvam prapannam. Oh, my dear Krishna, now I'm your disciple. I'm your Shishya. Now you please guide me. And then whatever you say, I'll follow. He says that I'm your servant, you're my master. Now you instruct me. So even in our life, until we come to that point of, my dear spiritual master, I'm your surrendered soul. You please guide me and help me. Until that point, we will not understand what Bhagavad Gita is or the science of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then we are doing this, we are practicing the process of Krishna consciousness. That is a mercy of our acharyas. That is a mercy of Srila Prabhupada. I always wonder, even though we do not carry all the principles of surrender to Sharanagati, still we are chanting, still we are hearing, still we are reading, still we are understanding, still we are sharing, still we are discussing, still we are doing our smarana, manana, varana. We are all doing these things. It's all because of the causeless mercy. But some point of the time in our life, that point has to come. That surrender has to come. And then coming back to that Trinadapi principle at office. If you are completely dependent on the Lord, and my Lord, I'm completely dependent on your mercy. It's only through you I could do anything. Actually, that is true, right? For example, if somebody says to me, can you please raise your hand? I would say, I would raise my hand like this. Put your hand down, I would put my hand down. But if my hand is not functioning, can I raise my hand? If Krishna didn't give that intelligence, can we hear? Can we discuss? Can we understand? Can we even work at our workplace? We cannot. We cannot work. We are gifted. This life is gifted. We are totally gifted. This is our existence. This is our real existence. We are gifted. When we understand this intricacies of how much gifted we are, then what do? Automatically we become humble and we be grateful to our spiritual teachers, to our acharyas, to the Lord. And through that process, we move forward. And this is a great benediction. And that humility principle definitely can be applied at our work through our behavior, the way how we behave with them. See, unless and until there is a saying, right? Unless and until there is Without smoke, there is no fire, right? If there is smoke, means definitely there is fire. So likewise, if people are trampling on us, it's a clear indication that we have trampled them before. Or it is also a mercy of the Lord through which He is helping us to come closer to Him. Prabhupada struggled so much. I wouldn't say struggle, I would say all through his life, his only goal or aspiration is to please his spiritual master. Whenever he met a spiritual master, he again and again asked the same thing. My dear spiritual master, is there any special service? Is there any service, personal service? Is there any service which I can render to you? Whenever he met a spiritual master, he was asking that. Is there any individual instruction for me so that I can serve you in a better way? Every time Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj was reiterating this thing. You preach this message in English speaking audience, and if you have money, print books. Prabhupada followed that. He followed that. That was his meditation all through his life. 45 years. If you see, if you go through Leelamrita, it's very clearly reiterating. Prabhupada did every activity, every action in his life to please his spiritual master. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also manifesting the same thing in this particular sloka, where Prabhupada clearly reiterates that Lord Chaitanya knew that in Kali there would be many bogus incarnations pretending to be God, and therefore he avoided asserting himself as a Supreme Personality of Godhead. He avoided, and then he took the position of a devotee, and then he showed how a devotee should be. He showed how a disciple should be through his interaction with Ishwarapuri. He was a perfect disciple. He was a Nimai, until that point of time he was Nimai Pandit, and then this same Nimai Pandit was being said, no, you should give up all your knowledge. Just keep that aside and chant Hare Krishna. This was the instruction from Ishwarapuri. And then he gave up all that stuff, what Nimai Pandit was doing before. He was teaching Sanskrit, he was teaching grammar, Vyakarana. He was great personality. He's teaching Vyakarana to all of his students, and then the moment he heard it from his spiritual master, that's it. Just see the submissiveness. I always wonder, it's amazing. So amazing. Because I always think, if at all we take this, at least very minute of this into our life, we make a lot of progress in Krishna consciousness. And by the way, what else can we do other than Krishna consciousness in this life? There is nothing in this world which gives happiness to the heart. Even Vyasadeva was not pacified. Vyasadeva was not pacified. He was not at all pacified, even after writing all the Puranas, where what was he writing on all those Puranas and all those Upanishads? What is the essence of all of them? Two things. How to be fruitive, and then renunciation. Fruitive activities and renunciation. Karmakanda and Vairagya. These two things. All the scriptures talk about these two things. You do this, you get this. You be fruitive, you do like this, you get this. If you want a good wife, do like this. If you want to become a good husband, do like this. If you want a child to be born, do this. You'll get a child. If you want a daughter, do this, you'll get a daughter. It's all fruitive. You do this, you get this. You do this, you get this. And then after doing all of this, and then after getting all of this, we become frustrated. And then through that frustration, okay, if you're frustrated, do this. That is also written. By doing all the fruitive activities, you get the results. And then by enjoying the results, we become shattered also. We relish the results. Obviously, that will not give happiness, right? We've seen through the life of Chitraketu Maharaj. Bhagavatam speaks about that. Chitraketu Maharaj was lamenting for not to have a son. And by the mercy of Angira Muni, he gets a son. He says, Are yaar, I was planning to give him self-realization. He's asking son. Okay. And then he named the son as Harsha Shoka, means sad and happy. He couldn't understand why he kept his son name as Harsha Shoka, which represents sadness and happiness. He thought that is a sadhu, he kept it. And then later on, I mean, you all know the story, right? He died. And then he came back again. See, what happened? Initially, what happened? He was joyful, blissful, ever happy. And then after that, distressed because his son died. He was expecting his son to be alive, but his son died. He was fruitive, his son died. But Bhagavatam is far, far advanced than that. Any pastime in Bhagavatam, it will reveal the essence of Krishna consciousness. It will reveal the glory of Krishna consciousness. It will reveal the glory of our acharyas. Bhagavatam is nothing but the interaction between pure devotees and glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Entire Bhagavatam is that. And then, what would happen after that? And he says, "Arey yaar, this is annoying to me. I cannot accept this." And then after that, he's dejected. So the same fruitive mentality Vyasadeva wrote in all the scriptures other than Srimad Bhagavatam. That is why Srimad Bhagavatam is Amala Purana. Spotless Purana. When Krishna left this world, Uddhava saw Krishna going into the books of Bhagavatam. That great, and especially association of Srila Prabhupada, how much struggle he took. The spiritual master always reiterates the importance of how much struggle Srila Prabhupada has taken in his life. To print one book, he had no money. And he goes to the printing shop. And then he was trying to convince the printing shop person to buy the book so that he'll have some money, so that he can use that to print more. Just see his conviction. Nobody was accepting. People had time to buy tea, but they had no time to buy Prabhupada's Back to Godhead magazine. Prabhupada was walking in the streets just to give that Back to Godhead magazine. Nobody was taking, nobody was interested. Swamiji, we are not interested, we don't want to take it. And that Bhagavatam, today, we're sitting at our homes and then discussing how fortunate we are. And then how do we give it back? How do we kind of, my dear spiritual master, you've given me so much. How can I reciprocate? Through this reciprocation, this is called as gratitude. Give back. Generally, we say, I'm grateful for everything. But what does that mean if there is no service associated to it? Let's say if I say I'm grateful, this is a simple example, right? There's a child who woke up. Then mother is telling, I'm thankful for your presence in my life. But the child is hungry. Will the mother just continue telling, I'm thankful for your presence? Vice versa. If son goes to the mother and then she's in a difficult situation and then son is just telling, Mother, thank you for all your services. I'm grateful for it. But she's suffering from some problem. Don't we reciprocate? We would reciprocate. That's a natural thing. That's a natural tendency to reciprocate. That's a natural way to give back to our parents, to the society. It's a natural way. There's so many people. I remember, when I was studying at Cleveland State, that's in Ohio. There's the building name is Monty Ahuja College of Business. Our computer science was under that Monty Ahuja College of Business. So that Monty Ahuja, that the person who studied at that Cleveland State University 40 years back, that person became a great billionaire. He donated that building. He gave money to construct that building, that land area. Even people in this world, they give back. I always think to myself that how are we giving back? Gratitude is a way of expressing our heart. Through that expression only, Arjuna, he expressed, he shared his heart to Krishna. And then Krishna reciprocated. If we really have a problem, we should share our heart. Not just problem, we have received, if the moment we received so many things, don't we have a desire to give it back? Definitely. Definitely. This is called as deepening our relationship with our spiritual masters, with acharyas, with the Lord. This is how we can connect to the Lord. And at every moment when we remember them, we get reciprocations from them. Moment by moment, if our desire is to please, we generally say, right? My desire is to please my spiritual master. My desire is to please Krishna. Then how is that desire manifesting through the actions? This we need to see through our energy, through our strength, in whichever way we can do that, we need to reciprocate, because that's how mercy would flow. This is Avaroha Panta, deductive knowledge. That's what all the acharyas are doing. Even Lord Chaitanya himself, he personally manifested. Prabhupada is writing here, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came as a devotee and then trying to distribute this message of Krishna consciousness. And then Prabhupada is confirming, yes, there is a sloka in Bhagavatam, Krishnam Varnam Tasha Krishnam Sangopangasya Parshalam Yagnayar Sankirtana Praya Yajanti Sumedasa. The Lord in this age of Kali comes as golden incarnation. That's what happened. What Prahlad Maharaj spoke in this shloka, Chenna, Prabhupada confirming that. This is how we should develop our relationship with our acharyas and Krishna. We have the process to chant, to hear. I always wonder, we chant Hare Krishna for 2 hours. We spend 2 quality hours of time. Before this class, we all chanted, right? We all chanted Hare Krishna. We all chanted together. While chanting Hare Krishna, What am I thinking? Where is my consciousness? Where is that consciousness going? This we need to look through. Am I meditating? Am I meditating on the qualities of the Lord or the form of the Lord? Or am I hearing the holy names of the Lord? Am I seeing the greatness of Bhagavatam? What am I doing? So this is the way to actually perceive that take that absorption more and more into our consciousness. See, there are always two ways to take anything in this world, because this world is filled with dualities. Anything which we perceive can be taken in two ways. One is the good way, the other is the bad way. So whatever we feed, whatever we feed, that way we take it. The same Bhagavatam gives inspiration. The same Bhagavatam can confuse us. So that's why having right association, taking right guidance, it really helps us to understand this process in a deeper level. So that way we can perceive these principles more and more. That's the process. Actually, I want to stop at this point on this particular sloka. If we have any reflections, anything we want to reflect, more than happy to discuss further. I think it's important to really understand what we have been given. In this age of Kali, which is so, I know it is difficult. It's difficult to, balance. It's difficult. But still, when we put that extra effort, that desire to be Krishna conscious, that desire, that hankering, that fire, that can be absorbed more and more through the pages of Bhagavatam, through taking the association of Srila Prabhupada, taking the association of pure devotees, taking the association of Mahabhagavatas. It gives that inspiration so that we can continue and move forward in our process. That's how we need to see Bhagavatam. Not through our eyes, not through our perception, but through the perceptions of our acharyas, what they have given us, what they want us to do, what they want us to become. This we need to understand more and more. Hare Krishna. Anybody would like to share anything or would like to share some reflections, ask any queries? More than happy to discuss.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki
Hare
jai.
Krishna Prabhu, Praveen going Prabhu. Prabhu, I don't see you. If you can switch on your face, that would be great.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Pranam, Prabhu.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam.
So Prabhuji, the gist of the lecture, I could understand that chanting is very important and lifting our consciousness to advance our consciousness to Krishna consciousness. But so does this apply to other faiths also? Like even in Christianity, they are singing the carols, and even in the other religions, they are chanting whatever names of their gods. So how do we understand whether so they are not reading Srimad Bhagavatam, but will their text also take them back to the spiritual world?
Actually, Prabhupada has been asked this question, and then Prabhupada gave a simple answer. He said, to love God, the process might be different, but if you follow to the best of your ability, you'll attain the success. See, it again depends what attitude, what aspirations we have. Based on that, Krishna will reciprocate. If our aspirations is to love God, if our aspirations is to serve God, if our aspiration is to have a relationship with God, if our aspiration is to serve Krishna, especially as devotees in the spiritual world, then accordingly we'll get the results. So likewise, if the other religion, if they really want to serve the Lord, they will get their destination. If they want to serve the God through the energy, then they'll go into the impersonal liberation, which is what Christianity would preach. They serve the energy of the Lord. They don't have a form. They don't have a feature of the Lord. That's why they don't get access to the spiritual realm. I said, right, there are different realms in the class, right? There is ant. Ant has one realm. We have one realm. Devatas have one realm. There are demons, devils, they have another realm. They can see us, but we cannot see them. So likewise, in different processes, Christianity, Jainism, Buddhism. Buddhism preaches one thing. The preachers that after this there is nothing. So likewise, Christianity preaches impersonalism. They say you'll merge into the energy of the Lord. Yes, Krishna will reciprocate accordingly, and then they will give. If you actually see, Prabhu, there is no fighting between any religion. It's pretty clear. That Bhagavatam teaches, especially our acharyas. That's why we are so grateful to Srila Prabhupada, especially to our instructors, and we're so grateful to them because the reason is our process is pretty clear. One time, I'll give this example. One time, Radhanath Maharaj was he writes this in Journey Within. One time, Radhanath Maharaj was preaching at Ohio State University. Before he established, Chowpatty Temple in India, he was preaching in Ohio State University. He was preaching, doing college preaching. So at that time, there was a Christian preacher who was preaching heavily. He had a mic, and then if you do not follow Jesus, you'll go to hell.
Yeah.
Do not follow Jesus, you'll go to hell. And then he was coming to Maharaj, and then he was trying to put him down. And then Maharaj started asking him one question. Okay. Then he said, if you do not follow Jesus, then Maharaj asked, what will happen if I do not follow Jesus? And he said, immediately you'll go to hell. Then Maharaj said, I don't want to, I'm better in hell staying in the place where you go. Because it is so important. Love of God is something sublime. Love of God is something unique. Love of God is something wonderful in this entire existence. It's a magnanimous thing. We have, Prabhu, actually, in 11th chapter, we were reading yesterday, we were discussing. 11th chapter, at the end, which is a universal form, where Prabhupada clearly gives the importance of worshipping Radha and Krishna, worshipping our lordships. Because this is the only way and the only process to develop a deeper relationship with the Lord. Just like Mother Yashoda developed a relationship with the Lord. She chastised Krishna. And Prabhupada has also been asked, one time one person came and asked Srila Prabhupada, see, I can become God, you can become God. Then Prabhupada said, Arey yaar, what to be, forget becoming God. You can even control the God. What to speak of, becoming God. But that is not easy, bro. We generally think that it is little easy, but it is not easy, bro. It is a process to be assessed, to be applied. We need to go into we need to understand really what Srila Prabhupada is asking, wanting us to do. And then if we really know that, then we do that to please him. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado yasya prasadan nagati kutopi dhyayanstu. They say at least 3 times. Should meditate the instructions of the spiritual master. Prabhupada said, if spiritual master is pleased, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is clearly reiterating, spiritual master is pleased, Krishna is pleased. If spiritual master is displeased, Krishna is displeased. So that way, it is so important. There is no disturbance, or there is no clashes between any of these things. It's pretty clear. It's based on our desire. If you desire that, Krishna is ready to give that. Krishna is ready to give impersonal liberation if you desire that. Krishna is ready to give next level of liberation. Krishna is ready to give. But if you will only see how much desire we have to attain it. You will see how much we are reciprocating. See, I can just say I have desire, but I'm not reciprocating. That's the problem, right? We can say chanting of Hare Krishna is the greatest thing, but I don't chant. Or I chant with inattentiveness, something like that. That is not yielding the results. It has been said that one Shuddha Naam, if one chants one Shuddha Naam, one can go to the spiritual world. One Shuddha Naam. One Shuddha Naam. But to chant one Shuddha Naam, that's the process. That is the process of Krishna consciousness. Daily Shravanam, everyday hearing, discussing Bhagavatam, improving our consciousness, uplifting the consciousness, being grateful. Grateful means really grateful. How do we express our gratitude? Through the service. That's how we please our acharyas. And then through that pleasure, Krishna is pleased. Did that answer your question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. It all depends on our desire, Prabhu. Whatever desire they have, they will attain it. Krishna will fulfill even Christian person also. Because he is a supreme, right? He is a supreme father. All kind, all merciful. Not just we. Not just we are his sons. Even that Christian son is also son of Krishna. The person who is following Christianity, the person who is following Muslim, he is also son of Krishna. His perception, his way, his vision is different. That's all.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Anyone else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for this nectarian class and explanation so nicely. And, I don't have any question, but if anybody has any question or comments, please go ahead. And I would like to read one more time Prabhuji's introduction because Prabhuji is giving class first time today. So Prabhuji's name is Neela Govinda Das, and his initiated spiritual master is his own name is Radhanath Swami. He got initiation in 2017 at Bhakti Center, and his Shiksha Guru is His Grace Hari Bhakta Hanuman Prabhu. He's chanting 16 rounds and practicing Krishna consciousness since 2013. From 2013 to 2023, he served at New Vrindavan through preaching to guests, distributing books, guiding devotees in their spiritual life as a volunteer. Completed his Bhakti Shastri course in 2019 from Yugal Kishore Prabhu, Detroit, and from doing Bhakti Vaibhav course from Gaurang Darshan Prabhu from Govardhan Eco Village. And it is doing online. So he did his master's in computer science and information sciences from Cleveland State University in 2008. Currently, he is working as a CSV automation manager at Charles River Laboratories in Memphis, Tennessee. And Prabhuji is staying with his wife, his good wife, Taruni Radha Mataji, and Ujjwala Indulekha is his daughter. So they're very exalted devotees, and we are very fortunate to have him today. We are blessed. So devotees, we can welcome Prabhuji with Sit and chanting Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari bol, Hari bol,
Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hari Bol.
Welcome, Neelgoin Prabhu. It's very nice to hear you. Maybe after such a long time. I remember your dedicated services also in the New Vrindavan. So many services. So please allow us to hear you more often, again and again in this conference. Thank you, Prabhuji, for a wonderful and nectarian class.
So grateful. I thank you for the opportunity. It gave an opportunity to remember our acharyas and then see their presence in our life and trying to see what best can we do in our teeny life, very small life. Hope we can do a better service to please our acharyas. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Yeah, Jai Prabhupada. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji Danda Pranam, all the Chakra Prabhupada. It was such a nice class, reflecting upon the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, disguised as a devotee, and 50% of God disguised as a devotee, to have showered such kripa on us. Like we,
Oh, your voice is not clear, Partha Prabhu, and I don't see you. If you can show your face, that would be great.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji Danda Pranam.
Yes, sir. Nice, so nice. I can hear, I can see now. Yes.
Yeah, you dwelt upon the mercy that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought in the age of Kali Yuga, which is full of faults. And in other Kali Yugas, of course, there will be Nam. Nam will be the carrier of the potency of the Lord. But in this special Kali Yuga that we are blessed to be in, Krishna himself appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Unlike other Kali Yugas, where there will be no incarnations, Prahlad Maharaj is correct. Prahlad Maharaj is correct. We are so fortunate to be in that movement. So to imbibe the teachings that Mahaprabhu gave and taught to us by his acharya. I remember I'm reminded of that nice song by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Daya Kori Saparsada Siyodham Sahaya Votari. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, but you have come up, descended upon this earth as a mercy to the fallen jivas. Saparsada, with all your accompaniments you have come. And then the second line is most important for this Kali Yuga that we are in. শিখায় করিবা অত্যন্ত দুর্লভ প্রেম করিবারে দান শিখায় শরণাগতি ভকতের প্রাণ. That is to distribute such rare Krishna prem in this fallen age of Kali, and that too by acting himself in that mode to teach us what is Saranagati.
Yes,
So these two are very, very rare. We are blessed to be in. So, and we are fortunate to be in that movement. He taught us well that and this particular Kali Yuga is so fortunate to be blessed by him. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Partha Prabhu. So nice to see you. Especially when I see devotees through that video, I feel so happy, because I can connect, I'm seeing the face, just like sitting next to each other and then discussing.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you, Nikunja Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
I could not disappoint you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
You requested for a video, so I thought we'll at least.
Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisances. All good to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And it was a very deep class what you gave today, based on the values of the acharyas and our Guru Maharajas. So, and which came through Bhagvatam, all teachings. So you mentioned that Bhagvatam was spoken on the banks of Ganges. So is there any specific location mentioned in the Puranas? What exactly the location was where it was spoken?
It is close to Hastinapur, close to Delhi.
Okay.
Yes.
Naimisharanya.
Naimisharanya, correct.
The sages of Naimisharanya, that is a conversation between Suta Goswami and the sages of Naimisharanya, where Suta Goswami speaks Bhagavatam again after hearing from Sukadeva Goswami.
Okay.
So they performed yajna for thousand years, but their heart was not satisfied. The sages of Naimisharanya. But the moment they met Suta Goswami, their heart pacified because they are hearing from a pure devotee. Their heart pacified. That's when, by hearing Bhagavatam, their heart was completely satisfied.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, again, I want to just repeat, very nice to hear you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Like, I remember a few years back when I was about to leave Vrindavan and I heard, I think you were in India and then came back and I did not see you again. Then it was like, a very disappointing thing for me. Like it was very sad thing for me. Like I used to ask everyone, where is Prabhu? Where is Prabhu? And I did not. But it's a good, see, this is a world is so small. Like we are again connected to some or the other way. So it is very good to have you here and not today, but going further for many classes.
Hare Krishna. So grateful. Thank you. Thank you for your
Hare
affection. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So if nobody has any question or comments, we can end up the call here. By following notices to all the Vaishnavas, Vanchakalpatarvesha Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Anant Koti Vaishnava ki Jai, Namacharya Shri Das Thakur ki Jai, Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Grace Nila Govinda Prabhu
Jai.
Jai, Prabhu Jai, Edward Pranam. I think Prabhu just dropped again, so we can end up the call. Thank you for joining.
Hari bol. Hari bol.
So,